If you're thinking about buying a dump truck because you heard owner-operators make six figures, well, I've owned a dump truck company, and today I'm going to show you what different weeks can actually look like as an owner-operator. I know people love to talk about the six-figure income you can make with one dump truck, and yes, that can absolutely be true, but I rarely hear anybody talk about what the journey actually looks like week to week. Now, before we get into the numbers, let me preface this by saying it depends on your geographical area, the season, the type of work you're doing, your customers, and sometimes it's just plain luck. You can just land a really good contract. These numbers are based on my experience here in Alabama, okay? Just working one dump truck, one shift. No double working it, no, what do they call it? Leapfrogging, no leapfrogging. One truck, one shift. And I'll be giving specific numbers, but remember, your numbers may look different. We're gonna go from bad to really good. Let's start with the worst week. Okay, the worst week, your truck is in the shop. You're still paying business expenses. You've still got personal bills to pay too. And you have not hauled one single load. Congratulations, you've lost money. So you're currently going to be sitting at a deficit. And I guarantee it, ain't nobody posting that on Instagram. People don't usually like to talk about those type of weeks, but they happen. You want to build your business in a way where one bad week doesn't put you completely out of the game. Move up to the next level. Your truck worked, but barely, or maybe you worked most of the week, but something unexpected came up that ate up most of your finances. So, and honestly, that's usually going to look like some issues with your truck, where your truck needs immediate attention or repair. But at the end of the week, you pretty much broke even. Your bills are paid, but your bank account is not looking any different than it did when you first got started at the beginning of the week. Let's move into what I consider to be a decent week, and that's where we're going to start to talk numbers. The truck is running consistently with no major mishaps. Business expenses are covered, your personal bills are covered, and you've got a little money left over. Not necessarily enough to go on a shopping spree or anything, but enough to start building you an emergency fund. Because you best believe if you're an owner-operator, trust me, you're going to need one. Now, before I get into these numbers, if you're serious about starting a dump truck business, I put everything I learned into my complete startup bundle over at JackieIJ.com. Now, let's get into these numbers because I noticed what y'all clicked on here for. Personally, with one truck working one shift, a steady week with no mishaps was usually around $3,500 to about $4,500 without me overexerting myself and just kind of cruising. Now, on a really good week where I was out here getting it and hustling, that was usually around $5,000 to about $6,500 for that week. And some of the best weeks that I experienced with my truck would be a little bit over $8,000 for the week. Now, I talked to another owner-operator, and he told me his best week working the same way as me from the same area was about $11,000 for the week. So can you make good money? Yeah, you can, but don't expect every week to look like your best week. Some weeks you're going to make money. Some weeks you're not going to make money and you're just going to maintain your baseline bills. And some weeks you are going to be at a deficit and you're going to be paying out. When people ask me how much dump truck owner operators make, my answer is always the same. It depends. I mean, it depends on your market. It's going to depend on your customers, your work ethic. And honestly, I'm not going to lie, it depends on if your truck wants to cooperate with you for the week. If you're thinking about getting into the dump truck business, drop your biggest question in the comments. I read them all.